Welcome to this demo of the Similix Sketch Tool. In the utility industry, it is key to have processes and tools for making solution design for new installations. This will not only secure the feasibility and quality of extensions to the utility network, but also provide an accurate data representation of the real-life network, which is a prerequisite for efficient operation, maintenance, and optimization. The Similix Sketch Tool is a tool for making sketches of future installations in the utility network. It enables project managers, engineers, and designers to express initial design considerations and requirements in quickly drawn sketches. These sketches will then be the foundation for the detailed design of the actual solution. To introduce the use of the Similix Sketch Tool, let us consider the following simple case. As a project manager, I have received a request for extending the existing gas network in a given location. I now want to make a sketch visualizing what this extension will look like and specify what elements, such as pipes, valves, and meters, are required for the extension. The extension I'm going to create is for the city of Vidalia and the location called Pearl Street. So what I will do now is I will zoom to the location in question where I want to draw the extension. You can see here I have Pearl Street. First step then is to create an empty sketch. I go to the tool and then I type in the name of the new sketch that I'm going to create. I call it Vidalia Pearl Street. Now, in the sketch tool, I have pre-configured a number of sketch types, where a sketch type is actually kind of a template for different types of sketches I can do. So what I'm doing here is I select the sketch type that should be the foundation for the sketch I'm about to make. You can see I have here the possibilities: simple extension, standard extension, and special extension. I go with the standard extension and I click here, create the sketch. Now I have my empty sketch. What you can see here at the left hand side is a number of elements that I now have access to. I have access to drawing a service point, a curb stop valve, a regulator, a meter, and so forth. These feature elements are defined by the sketch type. So in the sketch type, I have defined that these are the elements I should have access to when I want to draw a sketch of this type. So to recap, I want to draw a sketch where I make an extension of the existing gas network. What I know is that I have 3 different service points where I need to deliver gas. So what I did here was I selected the service point element and then I simply clicked in the map to put that corresponding element there. And now, as a project manager, I simply want to do the sketching to try to make a sketch of how I see this extension. First thing I have to do is I have to have a main line. And what you can see here on the main line, I have the possibility to select what should be the gas valve diameter for this main line. So I click here, I extend, and I say I want to go for a 10-inch diameter for the gas valve here. So what we call the element down here, that is the attribute. So the main line is a feature element and it has the attribute gas valve diameter that I can select when I draw the sketch. So the main line, I know it should go from up here, further down here, around this bend, now I have my main line. I can now zoom in to the area where I want to draw further elements. I know I need some meters. Again, for the meter, I can define what should the attributes be, what should be the size of the gas valve, and also what kind of gas meter should it be. I select a rotary gas meter. And then I simply click, I want to have the gas meter here, I want to have one here, and one here. Likewise, I need some valves, I need excess flow valves. Here I also have an attribute, but I won't decide exactly what kind of excess flow valve I need here. So I just click without having decided upon that. So I say, okay, I need one here, I need one here, and then I also need one here. Then I can define regulators. I can select a controllable valve if I want to have one like that here down. And then I can also say I want to have a curb stop valve. Define one here, and one here, and one here. And then finally, I also need to draw the service line from these valves into the actual service point. So I see I need one here, here. So basically what I've done now is I have created my initial sketch of how I see this extension of the gas network. I have created the service points, I have created the main lines, the service lines, and also indicated the various types of valves and meters and regulators that are necessary for this extension. I can now go up and define that this sketch is in progress. So now I indicate that I'm working on this, and I can then go to other sketches and say, okay, now I want to see what about the sketch lines for Stuart Lane. Select that here. Then I see another sketch that I've already done. I can work on this sketch, go to another sketch, work on that, and then I can go back to my old Vidalia Pearl Street that I just created. Now it might be that I say, okay, this initial sketch, there's something that I want to change in that sketch. For example, I can go in and say that this regulator down here, I don't want to have that. I select it and I delete it. I can also go in and say, I don't want to have this curb stop valve. Select it, delete it. And then I can, of course, draw other elements again, and that way around make changes to the sketch. So that's the basic principle of doing the sketching here. And then when I'm done, I can change the state on the sketch to ready. As you just saw in this demo, the driving principle of the Similix Sketch Tool is simplicity and ease of use. It is a web-based solution designed to be accessed on mobile devices in the field, where the conditions and the work environment necessitate simple and intuitive functionality. And the exact same application can also be used back office. This provides a lot of flexibility in how you will actually use the Similix Sketch Tool in your daily operation. For example, the project manager, as I just showed, can do the initial sketching at the office, and then later on go into the field or have someone else go into the field to make the final adjustments of the sketch on site. When it comes to the configuration of the Similix Sketch Tool, it has been a focus point to make a tool that can easily be configured without having to depend on the IT department or other highly technical resources. We want to enable the business to define and create the templates they need for easily managing requests for new extensions to the grid. To do so, we have made a configuration view where sketch types, feature templates and attributes can be created and administrated. To open the configuration view, I click here in the upper right corner. Now I'm in the configuration view where I can create and change the configurations of the Similix Sketch Tool. On the left hand side here you see the sketch types. As you might recall, I had 3 different sketch types defined in the configuration. And what you can see down here is there's an indication of what feature templates are available for this sketch type. So for a simple extension, I have access to service points, curb stop valve, regulator, meter, and service line. Whereas if I go to the standard extension, you can see I have access to many more feature templates. If I then click on a feature template here, the controllable valve, then you can see here, so what are the actual attributes that are selected for this feature template. So for controllable valve, you can see you can define gas valve diameter and gas valve type. Again, I can select or deselect additional attributes, thus facilitating the user to select different attributes when drawing a specific feature element in the sketch view. And finally, we also have the attributes values. So for the gas regulator casing material, these are the different attributes I have on that one. It can be aluminum, cast iron, ductile iron, or steel. And if I want to, I can add another value for this attribute. That could, for example, be plastic. And I can add that. And there you can see I now have access to an additional value of the attribute gas regulator casing material. To give you an example of how easy it is to add new elements in the configuration, I want to create a new feature template called a special valve. So what I do is I go in here, add new, I type in the name, and then I select what type of feature is it. Is it a point or is it a line? So I say this is a point device, and then I can define what attributes that should apply to this new feature template. Since it's being a valve, I want to be able to specify what is the valve type and what is the valve diameter. I also want to be able to specify what are the symbols that are displayed in the map when I draw this new feature element. So I go in here and say, I want this to be a circle, I want it to be a large circle, and I want it to be green. So now when I draw a special valve in the map, it will be displayed as a large green circle. Now I'm done with the configuration of this new feature template. I simply press save, and then you can see that it is being saved and being available for the solution. I can also go in and select another or an existing feature template. So if I go and say I go for my main line, as you remember, that was a solid line in the color of green, and now I want it to be magenta instead. Click it here, I save it, and then when I go back into my sketch, it is now magenta. Good. As you have seen, the Similix Sketch Tool is a simple and efficient tool for making sketches of future installations in the utility network. It is 100% web-enabled, built on standard Esri technology, a state-of-the-art GIS platform for the utility industry. You can configure your own sketch templates to support your specific needs, apply your own terminology, and work on top of the maps that you're already using in your business. So to wrap up, with the Similix Sketch Tool, you're getting a professional tool for sketching, a tool that will streamline your work process and shorten the time from customer request to delivered services. Thank you for watching this demo. If you want to know more about Similix, the Similix Sketch Tool, or other Similix products, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you.